Perhaps more just off to the right shoulder there of Fyfe. Whether he stays with him, we'll find out. But it's a 34-point margin for the Dockers. They're looking for 4 in a row, looking for a very, very productive July. But the clearance should be won first by Pearce, with a double shuffle from Pearce. Ebert got at it. Oh, so close, but he managed to get it to another Ebert. It was Brett to Brad, and there's Paul Stewart, and a mark inside forward 50. Now he must go back and kick this goal.
Really well done, and he just got Luke McFarlane off balance. We spoke about how dominant he's been in that first half. It was quick ball movement. It wasn't the greatest kick, but it was to a one-on-one situation, and Stewart read the ball off the boot a little bit better, and he just needs to get the team off to a good start by slotting this one straight through.
Daniel Stewart had the first shot for goal at the opening of the game, and he missed. This time he's closer. He must kick this. Little stuttering run up, a little bit nervous, but he bangs it through, and the flags are waving for Port Adelaide. They get the start they want.
Correct, Alistair. Not rocket science. They win the clearance, they get the ball down quickly. You can see he didn't win the clearance, but his second effort was good. Fremantle didn't mark the ball, gave it to his brother, and like a forward, you just wanted half an advantage. And it was a really good kick, put McFarlane under pressure. Actually went to ground without a lot of better body pressure on him then, so that was a great kick.
Yeah, really good build-up. Just good contest. It was a good contest from Ebert to start with. As you said, it was the second effort to get the ball out and continue the ball moving quickly into the forward 50.
A half of football for one goal, and then a minute for their second. And we saw that heat possession map that David King spoke about. There was only 4 or 5 possessions deep inside their forward 50. And there's one of them for Stewart, and they get a goal. And they're trying to affect the clearance here. Corns, handball out wide. McCarthy went down, but he got up. And he won a free kick. And the advantage is taken by Westhoff. Inside 50 they go again. Ebert, he's the target at the moment. Out comes Stewart again. Thomas feeds it through to Boak. Bounces off of Daniel Stewart. Almost bounces off of Fyfe, but he just hacks it out of there. Wants to clear it away from the danger zone. Carlisle pushes off of Pavlich. Taps towards the line. That's the defensive play, and he'll get some applause from the crowd who've got a bit of spring in their step.
Sorry to the Ebert family there. They're cousins, the boys.
They are cousins.
So they were brothers.
Son of Craig, son of Russell. Great Russell Ebert. 4-time McGarry medalist. And his son's got one as well. As the kick goes in long. Chance for Bradley here. Trengove wraps him up. Almost got the handball out to Walters. Main goes in searching for it. Pearce probably wasn't the best idea to try and give it to Trengove. They're under the pump, but they didn't panic. Corns, handball over the top. Here's Broadbent. Can he find a target? Tries to thread it through 2 Dockers. Boak did well.
Great effort, Boak.
Got it back to McCarthy. Now he's squeezed up the line and he hits Thomas. Didn't take it.
It's a better start from Port, and the players and the coaching staff would say, why didn't we start like this? But they're halving a contest. You can see Matthew Primus there be saying to the coaches, this is better spirit, because Boak, in the first quarter, Freo would have marked that ball, but he forced a halved the contest and won the ball.
And Lobie caused the turnover with the tackle on Monday. Now Wingard pops it up. Good work by Robin.
Another great example of what they weren't doing in the first half.
Kick comes in towards Brett Ebert. It's got Brad further up the field. Well, there's Stewart. Missed him. Now, watch the Dockers on the rebound here. That's not 15 to Ibbotson from Johnson. Handball over the top to Mzungu. Spreading wide. He's got Pavlich on the wing. Uses him. Bradley lopes forward. It's good movement here, Fremantle. The kick from Pavlich just a little bit too much on it. Bradley. Ball in hand, Mzungu running hard. Into the pocket he goes. Barlow the target, Kasisi right with him. And Ballantyne can't keep it in.
We just see the transition from deep defence after this missed mark. He's hardly laid a glove on that one. Just had plenty of time and space, but didn't get the chest and body behind it.
Better start though. 11 contested possessions to 6 at the moment in Port's favour. They're winning the clearances and they're winning the inside 50s. Yeah, it's disappointing that drop mark. All he had to do is get his body right behind that ball.
And they're the things you need for that reward for effort, just to make sure the spirit of the team stays up.
Can the Dockers make them pay at the other end? Walters gets it to Fyfe. It's an up and under. Bradley goes at it. Chaplin almost the mark. Trengove trying to find Cassisi through some traffic. He found Chaplin, and he in turn found Wingard, who can take it and go. Wingard kicks it out wide. Stewart again the target. That's Daniel Stewart. McFarlane happy to see it over the line. But there is definitely a whole different feel to the start of this third quarter.
Well, there's some hope for the Port Adelaide fans and the coaching staff. There's plenty of hope. They've just come out firing in these first 5 minutes, and they're more than competitive.
From the clearance, Mundy uses his strength, spirals it forward. Bradley doesn't get a good bounce. No one does. Trengove, a fumble. Carlisle, Ballantyne sweats on it, but he's dragged to the ground. Good tackling. Jonas goes back towards the boundary. Pearce closed down. Here comes Fyfe. Clean below the knees. De Boer, Pavlich, Barlow, smothered by Trengove. That'll keep the crowd up. The Dockers have some numbers. Mzungu's got it, and he'll have a shot at goal. They didn't give up on it there, Fremantle.
What a beautiful kick from Mundy. He didn't blaze away. He got the ball under pressure, lowered his eyes, hit the target.
Yeah, good call, Matty, because Fremantle had plenty of defensive sweepers. Here's the smother from Trengove, and that went very close to getting through onto the chin, and might have the numb lips at the moment.
6 goals, 10 for the season for Tendai Mzungu. He likes it, and they get the answering goal.
Great reward for effort there, wasn't it?
Well, it is, but that's where, at the other end of the ground, they didn't get the reward for effort because they've been well and truly in the game in the first 5 minutes, but at the other end, it was a drop mark. Here, defensive side, Fremantle have got a number of players all set up. Fyfe was there as well, and they just had plenty of space to chip the ball out in front of Mzungu, and that is a really well-executed inside 50 entry and resulted in a nice goal and a good reply, and an important reply to Port Adelaide's surge.
Love the fact that the contested situation in this quarter is 16-10 in favour of the Port Power. Dom Cassisi caught up with us just prior to half-time, and he said that was going to be his focus as captain, and they've responded, and they're right in this game now.
And Moore did well to extract that out of some congestion there. Pfeiffer can handball over the top. They've got some spread here with Broadbent. Boak running for him. Broadbent tumbles a little bit. Tough one to mark. Thomas is at it. Brad Ebert. Moore again. That's hard work. He was involved at the start. He hooks that back cleverly. How about that for a clever kick? That might almost go through. It's going to be rushed. It was Boak. But again, it was a good clearance, but McFarlane wants to go quickly. Ebert could have turned around. Didn't know he'd started. McPhee.
Let it go long down the line here. There's not a lot of movement. He's trying to switch it.
Takes that percentage option. Griffin is target. Good attack on the ball by Daniel Stewart. He owed him one.
Yeah, and a good confidence builder for him as well. He needs that.
Paul Stewart, the target here. He can't get into the game, but maybe he can now. He took a heavy knock in the first half. He's been a goal kicker for them lately. And I'll tell you what he's been good at. His set shots have been excellent.
Well, they're winning their own ball. At the ground level, as David King just alluded to, the contested possessions, but now in the air, and they're kicking to a one-on-one contest, so a lot better start from Port. But as I said, Alistair, they need reward for effort now. They need to kick this.
Well, that's right. Otherwise, just through weight of numbers going the other way, and Fremantle have been more efficient when they go inside 50. It will hurt Port Adelaide, so they need to kick this one.
Daniel Stewart kicked one earlier in the quarter. This, about the same distance, but a tighter angle. On the reverse, Paul Stewart for his first. Never likely. In fact, Ebert's up and at it. And it is going to be a throw-in.
That hasn't made the distance. Yeah. And some really good signs, though, but they still have to kick those opportunities.
Good.
Consultation.
I believe it was touch 2. It definitely went over the boundary line, not through the behinds.
But to reinforce your point, 21-10 the contested possessions, so they are getting their own ball, and they need to get their own ball in this situation and generate a shot.
There's a lot of players around this ball, though. It's going to be very hard to get a clean take in this traffic. Have a look at the rolling maul.
So Fremantle have got a lot of players in tight here. Port Adelaide have actually got a number of players on the outside of this contest, so if they can flick the ball out, they're half a chance to generate that shot.
That's a great shot there. There's only 4 players outside the forward 50 for Port.
Well, Fremantle have got 17 in. De Boer, Westhoff was hoping for a free kick. If I were Port, I'd just pull them away.
Yeah, well, Port are pulling players out of the contest, so they need to get someone up to flick the ball out to Corns, who's sitting right in the corridor, 35 out by himself.
A couple of Port players run to the goal square. You're not going to leave a player free in the goal square on his own.
Because this is just going to happen again.
Well, that's where, I mean, Fremantle are happy with this. They don't want to get the ball on the outside. Port do. Once again, Corns still in space by himself in the corridor. They need to flick it out to him.
64-36, time in the forward half. McPhee off the ground now. Should be a Port player there. There's Corns. Walters over the top of him, but he got it back to Wingard, who loads it up and kicks it in long. Plenty of players up, and Mzungu happy to run it over.
This goes to show that Freo just off their game a little bit. Well, that was the first half. Either Freo would have marked that, or the ball would have went forward. It spilled over the back of the pack there on that occasion.
Again, we've got lots of players around the ball, but somehow it gets to McCarthy. And we'll have a rush behind.
And again, Freo were happy to keep the ball in tight where they've got their massive numbers in this situation. A bit of an appeal from the Port Adelaide faithful that was deliberate.
He just got the fist on the handball. It was only a throw.
Yeah.
Danny, with this elevated intensity that Port have come out with in this third quarter, it actually gives Matty Primus a chance to coach and use his structural plays, trying to lock the ball in this forward half. But the first half was unacceptable, but what they're doing now is actually coachable.
Well, it is. You can get the runner out and just tell your free player to stay behind the ball and rotate your midfield. In the first half, it was all at sea. Whatever he tried, it wasn't working because the players just didn't implement winning the ball.
Boak plays on quickly, kicks to the line, hoping for Westhoff, but Duffield.
That was really well done. Once again, Freo got the extra number back, and Westhoff and co were grounded.
Beautiful kick out by Duffield, just over the shoulder of Hill, who's called to play on. And he doesn't miss many targets. Sonny Walters in the middle, and this is quite casual almost from the Dockers coming out. Ibbotson looking for Pavlich. Oh, stood tall, the big man.
He might as well kick the goal.
He might as well have a go. Off 2 steps, open goal square, gets a Shepherd. Is it straight? No.
That was as good a contested mark as you'll see in a genuine pack. Here's the ball coming in long, number of players around, off 2 feet, straight jump up. And I'm sure Port Adelaide would be disappointed that there wasn't a fist on that ball, but very good mark from Pavlich.
Bangs it into the post. Margin is 33. So for all Port's intensity, all they've really managed to do on the scoreboard is hold ground. It's an ugly kick. And that'll be a Fremantle ball.
And that's where it could be energy sapping. If Freo are able to go bang, bang with 2 quick goals here, that'll just blow the lights out.
Well, Pearce can get home from here. He does kick it a long way, but he's doing the disciplined thing. Top of the square ball. Mzungu at the back. Couldn't take it. Fyfe back to Corns, in turn to Moore. Hits up Daniel Stewart, who's improved in this third term. Giving McFarlane something to think about. But Johnson, that's a terrible kick. And away they go. Big switch coming. Duffield can kick a goal here. He can still get up and just pop it over to Pearce if he wants. And he does. Play on. I was a bit mystified there. I didn't think he went far at all, but Port Adelaide have got it.
Well, they're very fortunate, Port Adelaide, to get that one back. That was a terrible kick from Stewart. Just kicked it straight to Fremantle defence.
Well, Daniel,
here's the kick.
Well, you got Ebert, McPhee, and Johnson. That's where you just got to hold the ball. You've got to have some poise because it's just pointless giving the ball straight back, and that's all that was going to happen there.
I think Matty Primus said that's not a real good kick.
Kicked to 2 players over 6'3", and Brett Ebert's about 5'10" at best.
And he was 20 metres away from it, so just really poor choice.
Ibbotson squares it up to Hill, who rolls around and then drives it in long. Pavlich has got to beat 3. He's got some help though in Main. He just couldn't quite take possession. He wraps up Corns in the tackle. We'll have a ball up 30 metres out from the Dockers' goal.
The thing you're getting from Pavlich every time he goes near the ball is a really strong contest. If he doesn't get a possession or a mark, he's impacting the contest and just bringing the ball to ground.
Bradley pushed it out in front of Pavlich. Just overrun it a little. Fyfe gets into him and not too happy about it. But Pav, well, Ballantyne got involved.
No, it's a surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Well, the Port players are smart enough to walk away because all they can do is give Valentine a shot at goal.
Bradley was trying to take it out of the ruck, but Boat clears it. McPhee, tough ball to trap, but he kept it in front. Ibbotson by hand. Spur, outside 50. He says, I'm going to just kick it myself. Oh, mark on the line. Pavlich.
What a magnificent contested mark.
That's just what Alistair was talking about.
Just protected the drop zone magnificently well. And he had to go for the mark. I thought, could he shepherd it early?
As the defender coming out in you, Spud, forward. You've got to take the ball if you can see it.
Yeah.
You've got to get it.
Yep.
He's been close a couple of times, but this one's a soda for the skipper. Margin will get out to 39 points. Pavlich has got 2.
Great contested mark again.
It's
really disappointing. They've started well. Have a look. He's Carlisle there spectating.
Well, from a defensive point of view, Spud, Carlisle's got to go, doesn't he? As a key defender, it doesn't matter whether it's your man or anyone else, you've got to throw your body at that contest, especially on the goal line. That's inexcusable. That really has to be knocked over the line.
Well, Kane Corns is not his direct opponent. The ball's in there. He had enough time to get a fist on that and put it 12 rows back. Correct weight.
Soaked it up here, Fremantle. They've soaked up the Port Adelaide. Elevated enthusiasm.
Have a look at that, Matt. He scored some turnovers there. 5 goals, 5, 35, only 2 behinds to Port. So,
well, it's 2 stories there, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
There's the fact that they haven't been able to take advantage of any turnovers themselves as Westhoff pops it over Wingard's head. Duffield, handball, still a chance for Wingard. He's got to beat 3. Mundy's over the top of him. And it's umpire's ball.
Perfect example there for Port. Only, you know, you've got to make the most of your opportunities. Yeah, Port.
Third man up was McCarthy. Pearce got the give to Ebert. It's Brad Ebert who hooks it back right to the line. And it's, again, punched through.
Well, that was a good idea, to at least bang the ball clear of that congestion and get it out into space. Now, it didn't result in a goal, but did generate the shot at goal, which is what Port Adelaide need.
But that's exactly what Carlisle should have done then. Ibbotson put it 12 rows back, just play the percentages.
They always manage that kick out to the side, but McPhee just missed his target a little bit in Barlow. And that's a big missed target for him, but they've got numbers. Mundy to help out. De Boer throws it on the boot. Play on to Spur. Now McFarlane. He goes back the other way to Mundy. Chips over the top to Fyfe. He's been a bit quieter in this quarter.
Well, he has been quiet. I'll be interested to see what Ross Lyon does. I know David King will be all over it at ground level, whether he subs him off at some stage. He hasn't played for 13, 14 weeks. Started extremely well. As you said, he's only had the 1 disposal in this third quarter. Nathan Fyfe.
Corns searching handball out of trouble to Broadbent. And turn Jonas. Just pops it onto the chest to Wingard.
And need patience here.
Not a lot of
Severely
run from behind, though, Paul.
No.
Look at the lack of run from behind.
Severely outnumbered
players.
long.
Tries to keep it low to Thomas, but he's got 3 defenders spoiling from behind him. Spur touched off the boot. Bradley really marked it well, and he knew it was play on, and look at him go through the middle. Great handball. Chance here, Dockers. They've opened up the fat side as Griffin kicks it in long. Pavlich caught at the back. Carlisle held front position. Pfeiffer back to Carlisle.
That's where that punch a couple of minutes ago needed to go. Well and truly over the boundary line, but just good pressure then from Freo.
Crowley, little short pass. Barlow will test him here. He's got the win though, so. David, you're down at ground level. Where, left to right here, right to left. Where should he start it?
Well, I think there's a bit of right to left in this. A little bit of a breeze blowing from right to left, so hopefully he can ride this one home.
So does he start out right? He's running in that direction, but he just completely miskicked it.
He tried for
extra distance.
Yeah, he did.
Just having a look, Danny, at the Fremantle over the last 6 or 7 weeks, since round 10, their defence has been unbelievable. They've conceded an average of about 12 goals in that period. 2 goals they've conceded today. That makes them a dangerous proposition, I think, in any finals campaign if they do happen to get there.
Duffield, kick up high.
Got to push.
Well, he'll push Michael Walters and he'll go back for a shot at goal.
Yeah, well, that was just a beautiful kick to a dangerous spot.
That's right, it puts defenders under pressure, and he's thrown himself up at the ball and he's drawn the free kick nicely there. And this is going to help the average of the percentage of Fremantle Dockers if they can maintain this gap. And certainly the scores that Port Adelaide have kicked with only those 2 goals, it's going to be a massive advantage at the end of the day.
2 games this year, he's kicked 3 goals and 2 goals. And now in this, his 3rd, he's kicked 1 goal.
Well, to win finals football, Spud, we talk about you need that strong defence as we see the free kick again, and just a bit of a push.
That's not a free kick.
No, that's a push, a bit of a touch into the stomach, really.
Yeah, all he did was just
good,
place a hand
good
here.
jump, but he's gone
and Bradley's pushed,
early.
Yeah, it's actually Bradley's done the push.
Yeah, so very unlucky there, Port Adelaide, and I think the supporters have just seen that on the screen. But regardless, it's a free kick and goal.
So a lucky free kick, but we take a look at the live ladder, they're edging up to 108. And similar to last week, they kept edging up underneath North, but couldn't quite get there.
They started 100 and a bit over 104, so they've done well. 105, sorry.
Lobe trying to do something about that for Port Adelaide. Wingard, Ballantyne's got him. Here comes Ebert, Brett Ebert by hand. They worked it out well. Now Wingard's got to get himself some space. He did pretty well to hook it back, but standing on the line, as all defenders do, they just gravitate back to the goal square. Well, it was Duffield.
Port have been in 9 times for 1 goal 3. Freo have been in 8 times for 3 goals 1.
It looked like an unrealistic attempt to me.
He did, and he took out Tom Logan there. Here's an opportunity. They've got to keep this ball movement going out to the fat side.
Moore's got to hit a target.
Once again,
it was a helicopter.
Execution by foot has been poor. Their kicking efficiency has really struggled. In this quarter, it's been 57%.
Well, they've had more disposals, but they're just really butchering it by foot.
Didn't really matter because Port had their ball there, but just, I don't know how the whistle wasn't behind.
Well, they're winning the hard ball. 34 contested possessions to 21 and 9 clearances to 3. So they're doing all the hard work. It's just the polish by foot compared to the 2 sides.
A bit of polish by Pavlich there to get it back to Ibbotson. Now how will this sit? For Port, for Jonas. Logan gets a horrible bounce. Walters ducked his head. Doesn't have it. Good decision to let it go. And Brett Ebert can't get through. Recipe for success with Port on top in the contested ball, but only just.
Well, they are, and from memory, Port Adelaide, Fremantle have only won all facets of this stat once this year.
Well, the one that's really coming to the fore the last half of the season is kicking effectiveness. So it really is, and Hawthorn are leading the way with that stat.
Corns gives it back to Cassisi, shoots it out. Robertson up early, came down, pushed it to McFarlane. Chance here for Duffield, a long way from the goal line, out in front of Pavlich, and he'll line up for number 3.
Well, there's a good example of kicking effectiveness, and not only that, it's decision making. That's what comes in with kicking effectiveness as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It might
Making
be a beautiful
right
kick off the boot, but it goes to a 2-on-1 and it becomes an ineffective kick. So it's where Fremantle over the last 6 weeks have been terrific. Second only to Hawthorn by foot over the last 6 weeks. Freo.
Pavlich on 47 goals for the season, equal with Jack Revolt and Drew Petrie. This to put him ahead, but it won't be. So all 3 of those players fall behind Buddy Franklin.
And just going back to the recipe, is the dive and spoil. The recipe of success, it was round 3 versus the Brisbane Lions at Patterson Stadium. The only time that Freo have won all 3, contested possession, disposal efficiency, and the tackle.
I think the Lions had the record for low inside 50s that game, wasn't it?
About 23 or 20, was it? Yeah, it wasn't a lot. So Nat Fyfe, he might be one of the lucky charms. It was the one that he got injured in, and he's come back and they're looking pretty good.
Well, Port are going, 21 times inside their forward 50, Freo 37 in this game.
Broadbent's free kick.
back to playing good finals football, Spud, you really need a good defence, and that's a good defensive game across the whole ground, but your defensive structure in your back six needs to be good. And this back six looks pretty settled and really strong. And
McPhee's a bit of an unsung hero there as well. He's reinvented himself as that half-back, and it's either McPhee, Johnson, of course. McFarlane has just had a stellar year, probably in career best form.
Well, if you turn the clock back probably half a dozen years, McPhee was a All-Australian half-back flanker.
Fyfe kicks it in long. He won the free kick. He wanted Clancy Pearce. Broadbent did enough to bring it to ground. Cassisi by hand. Back to Ebert. Corns. Chips it out wider. Matt Thomas with some time and space. And he asked a fair bit of McCarthy, but he was equal to the mark.
They just don't seem to be covering the ground here. There's no support run. There's no overlap linking handball receiving options at the moment. It's very static, very static. No targets, no movement.
Yeah, spot on, Kingy. And I think that has certainly come from, as a byproduct, turning the ball over in that first quarter as well. No one's game enough to run and support because they're getting burnt on the turnover. Wingard
finds Brett Ebert, and he can get home from here. I should mention that the job that Crowley's doing on Boak. Now, Boak's had 16 possessions, but he hasn't really been hurting Fremantle.
He's a very good player, Crowley. He always gets the opposition best midfielder.
David talked about the fact that there's not a lot of run and support. Well, Boak's often that player that links up.
20 gone, Brett.
Brett Ebert. Got one of the 2 goals, but unfortunately that is not going to be his second.
Better entry though. If he had blazed away, it would have been an easy Freo mark, but lowered his eyes and hit Brett Ebert.
Docker's outnumbered here. And Port should clear it more. It's a good tackle from Barlow. Clash of heads. Fyfe came in. Again, a good tackle from Barlow. Barlow goes for his 3rd tackle.
When you play against... Oh, he's paid it. Gee. Barlow's very happy with it anyway.
He got some reward. Here's Ballantyne scooting through, out in front of De Boer.
Just a little hand on the back. Yep. Dom Cassisi's puzzled by that one. Just a really soft touch in the back. In a marking contest, it's a free kick.
Duffield, the designated kicker, sets it up high to the square. Drops quickly. Trengove, the clearing kick, hoping for the boundary line. Hill hoping to keep it in. It was always going to go left. And Logan just sat off and let him do it. Back to Duffield.
Tommy Logan was involved on this far side here, on the near side, and I think he was worn out.
I think he's gone, yeah. Roberton, big 360, kicks it inside the forward 50. But a better performance by Port Adelaide. They did manage their second goal. They had a lot more inside 50s. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't do any damage to Fremantle on the scoreboard because the margin at halftime was 34 points. And the Dockers, courtesy of the breeze, have managed to increase that by 10. 3/4 time here at AAMI Stadium. Football on a Sunday in Adelaide. And the Dockers enjoying another good afternoon. They lead by 44.